Hello students, in this video lecture we are going to discuss about threaded tree and its implementation in C. In order to understand the advantage of a threaded tree, we have to first understand the drawback of or the limitation of binary tree. The binary tree, when it is represented using a linked list, is supposed to contain lot of null pointers. So there will be many pointers which won't be actually having any addresses, and so they will be filled with null values. And as you can see in the given example, majority of the pointers are actually null pointers. So we are basically wasting the memory by storing null addresses. So that is one drawback of a binary tree. And the another drawback is that typically the binary tree traversal is implemented using recursion, and that's what we also discussed. The technique was employing recursion, and recursion means that the stack is used inside in the implementation of the algorithm. So the operating system, while running the program, has to make use of the stack. So for every recursive call, a new entry is going to be made into the stack, and depending upon the number of recursive calls, the stack will also grow. So that means that lot of memory, additional memory is needed for the maintenance of the stack, and these two are the drawbacks of binary tree traversal. So number one, there will be plenty of null pointers existing in the linked list which represents the binary tree, and secondly, the traversal of a binary tree, particularly the in-order traversal, has to make use of the stack. So we are going to overcome that by converting a binary tree into a threaded tree. So the threaded tree will not be making use of a stack for the traversal. The same binary tree traversal, when it is carried out using a threaded tree, doesn't require a stack. We will see it shortly, the way the traversal happens in a threaded binary tree without the involvement of a stack. And all the null pointers will be replaced by pointers to the successive nodes. And let us also try to understand why we actually need a stack for the tree traversal, that is in a binary tree. Though it is not going to be needed in the threaded tree, but as of now for the binary tree traversal, the stack is used. But why it is needed? The stack is used in a binary tree traversal because of the need to backtrack. So we have seen in the traversal implementation that after reaching the leaf node, you will have to come to the previous node. So from the last node, you have to come to the previous node, and similarly after completing that particular node, you have to go to the left child, and once again from the left child you have to go back. So the traversal involves returning back to the previous node, and that happens with the help of the stack. So it is with the help of the stack the algorithm is able to go back to the previous node even though the child don't contain the address of the parent. So if you just refer this particular tree example, after visiting the node D, which is a leaf node, the algorithm returns to node B again in the recursive call. From the recursive call of D, it returned to the recursive call of B. But you can see in the linked node of this node D that it is not stored with the address of B. So it neither the forward link nor the backward link contains the address of B, but still the algorithm is able to come back to B. Similarly, after completing B, it is going back to A again. So again we don't have the address of A stored in the node B. So how this backtracking works is with the help of the stack. So in other words, the stack is essential in the implementation of a binary tree traversal because of the need of backtracking. So since we need to, after completing a current node, we need to go back to the previous node, we have to make use of the stack, because the stack is a natural data structure where the most recent comes out. So that is why we are using that is why a stack is used in the recursive call implementation. So if you want to eliminate the stack usage, then we must find a alternate method for this particular backtracking. So we still need to backtrack, but we should not be doing so with the help of stack, but it has to happen in by some other mechanism, and that is what we are exactly going to do. So in a threaded binary tree, we will insert an additional pointer or additional value to the pointer, such that without backtracking we may return to the previous node. And we are going to focus on in-order traversal, not the other two traversal. So based on the in-order traversal, we are going to improve the performance by removing the stack. And so just to recall what is the idea of in-order traversal, just consider this given binary tree. It has got a root, left child and right child. So if you perform the in-order traversal, the output of the in-order traversal would be B, C, D, A, E. Okay, so that is what is the expected output for the in-order traversal of this binary tree. That is because from A we come to C, and from C we come to B, and after printing B we print C. That is because in order traversal the parent node is printed in between its left and right child. So after printing B only we have to print C, and after C we print D. Again after printing the left child C, we can then print the parent A, and then finally E is also printed. So this is the simple idea of in-order traversal, and as you can notice that it requires the backtracking facility. Okay, now we are going to look at how threaded tree is implemented and how it overcomes this these drawbacks of binary tree. So what we are basically doing is that we just replace the null pointer by addresses of the successor nodes, and we are targeting the right pointers. So a node can have both the left and right to be null, but for the purpose of threaded tree we are only focusing on the right pointer. We don't do anything with the left pointer. So we replace all the null right pointers by the addresses of the successor nodes as per in order traversal. This is the basic idea of a threaded tree, which I will also show you with an example. So given this particular binary tree, how do you construct a threaded tree for this case is that you just, as I told you, you just replace the null values in the right node, or in other words the f-link pointer, by the address of the successor node as per the in order traversal. So for example, from A we will come to C, from C we will come to B as per in order traversal. After completing B, we are supposed to go back to C. So B is a leaf node, which means that it's both pointers of B are blank, that is the left the B link as well as F link, both are null. So what you do now is that we just look into you just replace the right pointer or the F link pointer of B with the address of C node. Okay, with the address of C node. Now what will happen is that B gets connected to C. So this is the second diagram shows you how the interconnection is made. So B's forward link pointer is assigned with the address of its parent node. So the interconnection is made like this. And similarly, we also change the right pointer of or the forward link pointer of the node D with the address of A. That is because in order traversal, after visiting D, we will visit A as the next node, and so A is connected with the D's forward link pointer. So if you just accomplish this for the entire binary tree, then it becomes a threaded tree. So it's a simple process. You just have to interconnect all the right pointers to their next node to be visited as per in order tree traversal. Then what we get is a threaded tree. But problem is that it is easy to complete this task on the paper. You can just draw the arrows and the threaded binary tree is going to be completed. but it is reasonably challenging to conceive this as a program. So developing the algorithm or the logic for this implementation is a bit challenging, but we will also complete that discussion program. And again another example. So what we are doing is that the right pointer of D is connected with the B, so that okay, now the next point is that how this actually eliminates the need of a stack. So if you just consider the threaded tree given here, so what would happen? From A we will come to B, from B we will come to D. After completing D, we are required to go back to B. For that only we were using stack in the previous implementation, that is recursive implementation, made use of stack so that from D we can come to B. But now we don't need a stack, because if you just take the right pointer or the forward link pointer, you will reach B. Similarly, from E, if you just take the forward link pointer, you will come to A. So there is no need of a stack in the traversal if it is done on a threaded tree, and that is the basic idea. We just complete this threading, and automatically the traversal will take place without the need of recursion, and also without the need of stack. So these steps are the ones to be followed while building the threaded binary tree. So we first have to build a standard binary search tree, that is binary tree, and then change all the null right pointers to their successors. The traversal for a threaded tree is actually very simple. Once you locate the far left node, so what you do with respect to traversal of a threaded tree is that you have to go to the leftmost node of your tree, and after that you will have to print that value and then check whether it contains a thread, whether it is a threaded node. Okay, if it is a threaded node, then you use the thread, that is the address of the forward link pointer, to reach the next node, the next node in this case is the parent, and you just repeat this task. So then you will be able to traverse the entire threaded tree using the threads. So in this case we are not going to need any recursion or stack. Now as a practice, let us try to construct the threaded tree for the given binary tree. This is what is going to be answer. So we have already discussed how it is done. We just have connected all the forward link pointers or the right pointers to their parents, not exactly their parents, to the successor nodes which will be visited after this as per the in-order tree traversal. That is because if you look at the connection between 45 and 50, it is between parent and child, but the connection between 55 and 60 is not of parent child, but it is because if in order traversal, after printing 55 we need to print 60 as the next value, and that's why this interconnection is made. Similarly, we have connected the nodes everywhere, and one thing you can observe from this example is that in a threaded binary tree, all the right link pointers will be non-empty, okay, except the last node whose right link pointer will be, or the forward link pointer will be, null. Every other f link pointer is actually replaced by an address, so there won't be any null pointer in the f link except the last node. Okay, now we have got the logic or the program code for the conversion of a normal binary tree into a threaded tree. We have already completed the implementation of binary tree representation using linked list. So let us assume that we have got that program through which we construct the binary tree. Now what we want to do is that we need a program or a function to convert that binary tree into a threaded tree, and that is accomplished by this particular function. Let us try to trace the execution of this function for the given example. So this is initially a binary tree, but at the end of the execution it should become a threaded tree, and we will be passing the root value as usual. So we will be passing the node 70 as argument to this function, then it will evaluate these conditions. So parent equal to null is false because it is not a null value, and secondly parent of f link equal to null and parent of b link equal to null is also false. So since it has got both right child and left child, it is not a null. Then we check whether parent of b link is not equal to null. Yes, that is true because the 70 having node 60 as its left child, and so its b link is not null. Remember, b link represents the left child, f link represents the right child. So it is true, and then the control enters into the first line of the if condition. Struct node I equal to create threaded parent of b link, which means that we are making a recursive call to the same function by passing the address of the b link node, which means 60. So now the current parent becomes 60. So the current recursive call is made to 60, and it commences the execution with respect to parent 60. It checks whether it is null. It is not null. It checks whether both b link and f link are null for node 60. That's also not true. So for this for the current node also, it will come to the third condition. So if parent of b link not equal to null, and that is true for the node 60 also. So for that also it will get into a recursive call, create threaded parent of b link. Now b link is 50. Okay, the current parent is 60, and so its b link is nothing but node 60. So a recursive call is made for node 50 also. So the current parent becomes 50. And now what are the conditions? I think the same condition will continue, and now also it will get into the create threaded parent of b link, and now finally it reaches the leftmost child, which is having value 45. So the parent current at present is 45, and for that the second condition becomes true. That is, if parent of f link equal to null and parent of b link equal to null. So both are null for this particular node, and as a result it triggers the return parent statement. So it returns parent means it returns the address of the current node, which is node 45. So where it will go? It will go to the previous recursive call, which is pending with respect to parent 50. So if you just recall that the previous, that is the parent 50 left the execution when it reached the create threaded recursive call. So naturally it will restart the execution from the next statement, which is L forward link equal to parent. So L is nothing but the return value of the recursive call. It was returning 45 in the previous execution. So node 45 is actually equivalent to I. The I pointer is pointing to node 45, and now we say L f link equal to parent. So which means that we are interconnecting node 45 with the node 50. So by assigning its parent address to f link, so address of node 50 is copied into the f link pointer of node 45. So it leads to a first thread in the program, and we also assign a variable called isThreaded to be 1, and this value is needed in the traversal algorithm. So we are just changing it to 1, and then what will happen? Then it will continue the execution. It will come to the next if condition, if parent of f link equal to null. So parent of f link means f link of 50. F link of 50 is not equal to null, so it won't cause the return statement to be executed, and it will come to the final recursive call, create threaded parent of f link. So it will make a recursive call to parent 55. So the conditions will be once again evaluated with respect to node 55, and node 55 also satisfies the second condition. That is, it's both its f link and b link pointers are null. So it triggers the return parent statement, which means the address of node 55 will be returned to the previous call. And here you have to be carefully understanding that even though actually the previous call is 50, that function has completely executed. So it was just executing the last statement, which was a function recursive call, and so this function cannot receive the value since it has completed. So the return value will go to the previous function call of the previous call, which is 60. So before 50, the last call was 60. So this returned value, that is address of node 55, goes to 60, not 50. And the reason is 50 is already completed. Recursive call of 50 is over. And now what will happen? It will come to this statement L f link equal to parent, which means 55 is actually the value of L. Okay, since that is the one returned by the create threaded function at the moment, and that becomes the I value, its f link equal to parent. So parent is currently 60. So this creates a link in this way. So the f link of 55 is actually connected to 60. Then it goes on to try the next condition, if parent of f link equal to null. If parent of f link equal to null is false, because node 60 contains another node and it's not null, then it goes to the last recursive call, create threaded parent of f link. So 65 gets recursively called, and it will be again, it will be since it is a leaf node, the second if condition will be true for that particular node also. So return parent. So 65 address or node 65 address is getting returned. Question is, who will be receiving it? See, just like the 50 function call got completed, and so the return value went to the grandparent, here also the same thing happens. Since the recursive call of 60 is already over, the return value goes to the grandparent, which is node 70, and this results in a connection like this. Okay, so I f link equal to parent, which in other words 55 node 65 f link equal to 70. So the connection is made like this, and so then from 70, okay, for the node 70 it will continue to run. It will check whether its forward link is equal to null. It is not null, so it makes a recursive call to the forward link pointer. So it goes to the 80th node. So node 80 is the current parent, and here also it checks the conditions. The condition that actually is true is if f link of parent of b link not equal to null. So that particular condition is it is true for node 80, so it will get into the statement. So once again I equal to create threaded parent of b link is called, but now the b link is 75. So 75 is the node that is getting passed to the function. So when after reaching 75, it will evaluate the conditions, and both the conditions are that is f link and b link both are null. So it will return parent. So 75 node address is returned to 80, and then as we have seen already, this will lead to a interconnection between 80 and 75. So in this way it will complete the interlinking of the various nodes, so that the binary tree actually becomes a threaded binary tree. So we have just completed the logic for the conversion of a binary tree into a threaded binary tree. Now what is left is implementing the in-order tree traversal on this particular and this is the code needed for completing the program to perform the in-order traversal. So this function needs additionally the function called the leftmost. This is actually the traversal function named as in-order, but as a supportive function we also need the leftmost function. See, the purpose of the leftmost is actually very simple. Given a node, it will take you to the leftmost child. That's all. If you provide a route to the particular to this function as argument, then it will take you to the leftmost node of the root. So this function is called, okay, you can now look into the in-order function. The first statement itself is a call to the leftmost function by passing root as argument. Then it will check whether it is equal to null. So it is unlikely to be null in the first instance. So it will come to the while loop while n blink not equal to null. So this will get executed until you reach a node whose b link is null. In other words, it's more likely to be a leaf node. So it will take you to the leaf node, and after that you come to the in-order traversal. So what you do is that from there you start printing the value. You print the first value, that is current node value. After that you check whether it is threaded. Okay, see here we are able to understand the 2 points out of it. If the node is threaded, that means it does not have a right child. So we don't need to check for right child if it is threaded, and if it is not threaded, it's definitely having a right child. So we are just testing for one condition. So if it is threaded, then we go for the f-link pointer, because in a threaded binary tree the f-link pointer contains the address of the parent. So we just use it. Whereas if it is not threaded, that means it already has a separate right node. So we have to identify the leftmost node of that particular f-link node. So in this way the traversal will get completed. And so before I proceed to the program, I just want to point out about a type of threaded tree called a double threaded. See, in the single threaded tree we only interlink the right child with the successor node, but in the case of double threaded we also link the empty or null leftmost pointer with its predecessor. So the right pointer is linked with the successor, whereas left pointer is linked with the predecessor, and that results in the tree given in the diagram. And this is another representation of the example. So here we have got A, B, C, D, E, F, and you can see that we have got threads in both pointers. Both the F link and B link are threaded now. So theoretically we have completed the discussion on threaded tree. Now I am going to demonstrate the program. We also discussed the logic of the program. So we are yet to see the output of that particular program, which I am just going to show you now. Now you are seeing the complete program, which has both the binary tree construction of the binary tree and the conversion of the binary tree into threaded tree, and finally the traversal of the threaded tree. So the first part of the program, which is constructing the binary tree, was already discussed. I made a separate video in which I was discussing the construction or the representation of a binary tree using linked list. So that particular logic involves the function called insert nodes, and this is the normal traversal, which is recursive. So it actually uses stack. Now we are not going to make a call to this function. Instead we are going to go for the in-order tree traversal after converting the binary tree into a threaded tree, and this function is exactly the same which I explained in the PPT. So create threaded function is used for constructing or converting the binary tree into a threaded tree, and these two functions together are needed for in-order tree traversal. So and the main function just makes call to the various functions. So first we have to build the binary tree. For that we make a call to the insert nodes function, and after that we have to transform that binary tree into a threaded tree. For that the second function call is made, and once the threaded tree is built, then we can do the traversal, and for that we have to make a call to the in-order traversal, and finally Okay, this is actually incorrectly typed, so we just have to create the threading and then in order tree traversal. And notice that we don't make any call to the leftmost function. That is because this function is actually called inside the logic. It doesn't need to be explicitly called. It gets called in the in order tree traversal function. So we don't need to make any call from the main function. Now I am going to show you the execution to see whether it works correctly. The program has started executing, and I am going to type the input, and this is my reference binary tree. So as of now it is just in the form of binary tree. So when the program gets executed, first this will be represented in a linked list. After that linked list will be converted into a threaded binary tree, and finally it will carry out the traversal. So I am typing the values. So for parent 1 the value is 15. I am just entering the values as per the array. So the array is represented for the given tree, so I am simply following the values of the array. So parent 1 15, parent 2 11, parent 4 8, parent 8 6, 16 doesn't exist, so I am going to enter as 0. 17 also out of the range, so 0, 9 9, 18 0, 19 0, 5 12, 10 0, 11 14, 22 0, 23 0, 3 node 3 26, node 6 20, node 12 0, 13 0, 7 30, 14 0, 15 35. So you can see the output. Let me just check whether the output is correct as per in order traversal. So as per in order traversal, 6 8 9 and then 11 12 14 15 20 26 30 35. So it has printed correctly, which means that the threaded tree construction has been done correctly, and the traversal has also been implemented properly. So only if both are correct, this result you can see. So for this program to implement successfully, everything should work. We should have represented the binary tree properly in the linked list, and then we should have converted that linked binary tree into a threaded tree, and the traversal should be implemented properly. So this program works in all the aspects. So we are getting the correct answer as per in order traversal. So this is the demonstration of threaded binary tree traversal using a C program.